Do you like to make and wear shawls that grow from one point into a beautiful asymmetrical shape with details? Because in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the beginning and then the pattern repeat for this triangle shawl with nice rounded edges and these beautiful eyelets that travel along the edge. I will show you the beginning rows and then one pattern repeat, which you can repeat as many times as you like until you reach the desired size or until you run out of yarn. This pattern is very adaptable for that, and you will find the written instructions on my blog if you want to follow along with them. The premium PDF also includes charts for this pattern. I will be using some cotton yarn that's almost worsted weight and my 6mm Ginger Knit Pro hook with a swivel cable. For the beginning of the shawl, you don't actually need a cable, but as the rows get longer, you will start to need a cable. For this pattern, you can use any yarn that you like in any weight. Just make sure that the hook that you use with it has the right size to get a nice and even fabric. We will start this project with a magic ring, and if you don't know how to start a Tunisian crochet project in the magic ring, you can check out the tutorial on this channel. So we make a loop, insert the hook, pick up a loop, chain 1. This is the first stitch. Then we make 3 Tunisian simple stitches inside the magic ring by picking up a loop and chaining 1. That's 3 Tunisian simple stitches, or 2 Tunisian simple stitches and the last stitch, and we yarn over pull through 2 to the beginning of the row to return. Now we can close the magic ring and we begin the pattern. Row number 2 has 2 Tunisian simple stitches, and then we have 2 increases in this space before the last stitch. The first one is a full stitch, so we insert the hook through the space and pick up a loop. And for the second stitch, we make 1 by inserting the hook through the return pass chain, picking up a loop. Then we have the last stitch, which we make by inserting the hook behind the 2 vertical bars and picking up a loop. Now we should have 6 loops on the hook. We chain 1 and then yarn over pull through 2 to the beginning of the row to do the return pass. From the next row we start the shaping of the triangle shawl. So first off we have 1 Tunisian simple stitch 2 together, and for that we insert the hook underneath the 2 vertical bars of the 2 stitches and pick up a loop. Then we have 2 Tunisian simple stitches. We have the 2 increases in this space at the end of the row. So we have 1 full stitch and 1 increase. And then we have the last stitch. The loop count should have increased by 1. Then we do the return pass. From now on, all return passes will be the same. We chain 1 and then we yarn over pull through 2 to the beginning of the row to return. Row 4, we have a decrease at the beginning, 3 simple stitches, and the 2 increases. 1 is a full stitch and 1 is made in the return pass chain. Then we pick up the last stitch, chain 1, and continue with the return pass. Row 5, again we have a decrease, and then we have 4 simple stitches, the increases at the end of the row, then the last stitch, and the return pass. Row 6 is the same, starting with a decrease, then 5 simple stitches, the 2 increases at the end, last stitch, return pass. Rows 7, 8, and 9 are the same, except we increase by 1 the numbers of simple stitches made here in the main part of the project. Then we have the same increases and the last stitch, and then the return pass. This is row 8 with 7 simple stitches. And row 9 with 8 simple stitches. We now have the beginnings of a cute triangle shawl. For row 10, we start to insert the yarn overs. So first we have the decrease. On every row we will have this decrease at the beginning of the row. Then we have 1 simple stitch, yarn over, skip 1, and 7 simple stitches. Then we make the usual increases at the end of the row and the last stitch. Return pass. And then we begin row 11. We have the 2 together. Then 10 simple stitches, and to make a simple stitch in the yarn over in the eyelet, normally I like to just insert the hook through the eyelet and pick up a loop. If you want to, you can also go with the hook underneath this bar. It's your choice, just pick one option for all of your eyelets. I find that this method makes the eyelets bigger. So that's 1, and we have 9 more. Increases at the end of the row, and then last stitch and return pass. Row 12 begins with the decrease, and then 1 simple stitch. We yarn over and skip 1, and then we have 9 simple stitches. We have the increases and the last stitch. Do the return pass. And for row 13, we have the decrease in the beginning and 12 simple stitches. The 2 increases at the end, and the last stitch. Then we do the return pass. Row 14, we have another row with an eyelet. So we make the decrease, 1 simple stitch, yarn over, skip 1, and we have 7 simple stitches. Then we have another eyelet, so we yarn over and skip 1 and make 3 simple stitches. We have the 2 increases at the end of the row. Last stitch. And return pass. Next row we have the decrease and simple stitches as usual until the last stitch. The 2 increases and the last stitch, then the return pass. Now if we look at the work, you will notice that there are 7 stitches between the eyelets. We will continue building the shawl and we will keep this distance between eyelets as the piece increases. And as you get more and more stitches on this side, you will start adding eyelets. The next part of the video is the pattern repeat. The pattern repeat consists of 8 rows. In those 8 rows, you have the first section, then 1 pattern repeat, which you will make once and then twice and then 3 times and so on. And then you have the end section. I recommend that you use stitch markers in the beginning to note where the pattern repeat begins and ends. Although in time you will see how easy it is to know exactly where to make the eyelets. I will use these 2 red stitch markers to show you where the repeat begins and where it ends. So the first row of the repeat starts with 2 together as usual. 1 simple stitch, yarn over, skip 1, and then we make 5 simple stitches. Here we place a marker in the last stitch before the pattern repeat. And then we have 2 simple stitches, yarn over, skip 1, and then 5 simple stitches. We place a stitch marker in this last stitch. So after you make the first 8 rows of the pattern repeat, you will start again with this section, then repeat this section twice, and then we have the increases at the end, just like before. And the last stitch. You repeat this once for every pattern repeat. So this will be the repeat for row 1. You can keep the stitch markers in place and then you move them when you start the next 8 rows. Row 2 starts with the decrease. We have 6 simple stitches. And in this row we just simple stitch across until we reach the last stitch. So every even row will just be 1 decrease, simple stitches across, and then the 2 increases at the end, and the last stitch. Row 3 of the repeat starts with 2 together, 1 simple stitch, yarn over, skip 1, and 3 simple stitches. So this is the setup, and then we repeat 4 simple stitches, yarn over, skip 1, and 3 simple stitches. And once you're done with the repeat, we have 4 simple stitches, the 2 increases, and the last stitch. And then the return pass. Row 4, as you know, is 2 together, and then simple stitch across. The 2 increases, and then the last stitch. Row 5 starts with the decrease, 1 simple stitch, yarn over, skip 1, and 1 simple stitch. Then in the pattern repeat, we have 6 simple stitches, yarn over, skip 1, and 1 simple stitch. And for the end, after you do the repeats, we have 8 simple stitches, the increases, and the last stitch, and then the return pass. And row 6, you know already what to do. Decrease, simple stitch across. Do the 2 increases at the end. Last stitch and return pass. For row 7, we begin with the 2 together. And yeah, by this time we can move the stitch marker up a bit. And 1 simple stitch. In the pattern repeat, we yarn over, skip 1, and make 7 simple stitches. Outside of the pattern repeat, we yarn over, skip 1, and make 7 simple stitches. Then we yarn over, skip 1, and make 3 simple stitches. We have the 2 increases at the end, and the last stitch. Chain 1 and do the return pass. For row 8, we have the decrease, and then simple stitches across. Then we make the 2 increases, last stitch, and return pass. And that's the 8 row pattern repeat. Now you can move this stitch marker because you won't be needing it here. You can move it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the next row, we begin again with row 1 of the pattern repeat. And you can go back to see those instructions. Here you will have another pattern repeat of 8 stitches, as you can see. And if you don't want to just repeat the instructions, you also have a chart. You can look at the chart and see what you need to do. Or you can look at the fabric and know that you always decrease 1 at the beginning of the row. You always have 1 simple stitch after the decrease if you have a row with an eyelet, and eyelets are only made in odd rows. You have 7 simple stitches between the eyelets, and you always increase by 2 at the end of the row. It's easier to just follow the chart so that you don't miss out on any new eyelets that need to be made. This is the shape that the project will take, and there will be rounded edges everywhere, and this edge will be slightly shorter than this one when the shawl increases more. This looks great in gradient yarn. As you could see, my sample was made in a gradient yarn. And if you want to use a cotton and acrylic gradient, you can do that as well to make a summer version of this shawl, or you can add a mohair companion to it to make it a winter suitable project. And I have a video here on the channel on how to work with mohair if you want to use it as a companion or even on its own. So I hope you have found this tutorial useful and that you will enjoy making your beautiful shawl. If you want to know when I publish more tutorials and patterns, make sure to subscribe to this channel and to my email updates, where I send you every Friday news about what I've been creating and publishing recently. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!